What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm down at Randy Marion Subaru and we're going to take a look at this 2021 Subaru WRX Limited. Huge shout out to them for providing this sedan for me today. Make sure you check out their website. That link is down in the description below. This model here is finished off in a very beautiful WR Blue Pearl and it has an MSRP just over $36,000. We're going to start off today's review with what powers this WRX. Underneath the hood, you'll find the 2-liter turbocharged flat 4 engine paired with the 6-speed manual transmission. It pumps out 268 horsepower around 5,600 RPM and 258 pound-feet of torque around 2,000 RPM. It is all-wheel drive, weighs in right around 3,300 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in the mid 5-second range up to its top speed of 155 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 15.9 gallons, so you can expect to see around 20 miles per gallon in the city and 27 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 104.3 inches. Its overall length is 180.9. It has a width of 70.7 and a height of 58.1 inches. And with all those specs out of the way, it's time to take a look at the exterior on this WRX. So I'm going to start off with the LED steering responsive headlights. You'll also notice too that we have a lot of nice contoured lines surrounding the headlight housing itself, just to tie in everything nicely. I really like the line that goes from the hood. It extends to the front portion of the bumper, wrapping around this corner here, and then we have another line that continues from the center all the way to the grille here. And I love how it follows the same shape of that headlight housing, so it gives it a great look. We have LED DRLs that surround the headlight and the high beam, and then the turn signal right in the middle. You'll notice we have some more lines in the middle section of the bumper here, along with a fog light and a trim piece surrounding that. And then as we work our way to the center of the bumper, you'll see more of that trim along with plenty of cutouts for that engine. We also have more cutouts in the gloss black grille. You'll see the Subaru badge right in the center. And then up top, we have a functional hood scoop. So you can see all of this airflow can get channeled right to the top of the engine there and provide as much cooling as possible. We have some really nice lines that flow off of it too. And you can see the lines running on both sides of the hood, just giving the WRX an aggressive look. Now making our way to the side profile for this WRX, I'm going to start off with these wheels. So we have a really nice set of 18-inch wheels, both up front and in the rear. They measure 8.5 inches wide, and we have a multi-spoke design to them, along with a dark gunmetal finish. So it's a really nice color against this exterior blue. You'll also notice that we have the WRX badge just behind that, along with this trim piece. And you'll see a continuation on from this line running from the headlights, goes right through the middle, all the way to the lower side skirt, just giving it a nice flowing design, where you'll also notice that these side skirts protrude out just a little bit to give it that added aggressive touch from the side. And you'll also see that we have a nice line running up underneath the mirrors. It goes above the door handles all the way to the taillights. The Limited also comes with body colored side mirrors. You'll see the integrated turn signal. And then up top, this does feature a sunroof. And then last up for this WRX, this has a trunk mounted spoiler. I love how it's a continuation of these body lines that are just above the LED taillights. So it flows nicely and gives it that added aggressive touch. You'll notice this has a backup camera as well. Really nice clean lines run throughout the middle section of this bumper. And then down below, you'll see we have the same trim piece that we saw up front. And on both sides of that, we have the quad tip dual exhaust. Now it's time to take a look at the interior on this WRX. So I have the vehicle locked and the key in my pocket. All I need to do is place my hand on the door handle. You will hear it unlock, where now we can take a look at this door panel. You'll see there's black leather with red stitching on the armrest. We have a perforated material up in the upper section. All of the window controls are just in front of that, along with the release handle and the side mirror adjustments. This model also has the optional 9-speaker Harman Kardon sound system. So you'll see 1 speaker down below, along with a good amount of storage space. And making our way to the interior, you'll see down on the floor we have the fuel cap release, and we can work our way to these black leather seats. You'll see they have more of that red stitching to tie in nicely. Really great pattern running on these bolsters, and they are very supportive. These seats are also heated as well, and down below we have all of the automatic controls. And now once inside with my foot on the brake and the clutch, it's time to start it up. And coming back to the gauge cluster, you'll see over on the left side is the engine temperature and the tach. On the right side is the fuel gauge and the miles per hour. You'll also notice the odometer in the lower section of the LCD screen and a live readout for the MPG in the upper section. You can use 3 different buttons located on the left side of the steering wheel to scroll through some more information that's right in the middle. So you can see a lap timer. You can also pull up the miles per hour if you'd like to. And then if you hold the middle button, we can pull up a lot more settings to go into. You have screen settings that you can configure, along with some more technology features that you can turn on and off. You can put everything to a default setting and then easily exit this menu. So it's really nice to go through all of that information. And then as we make our way to the steering wheel now, you'll see it's completely covered in solid black leather, along with more of that red stitching just to give it a great touch. Over on the right side is all the cruise control settings. On the left side, you have volume and tuning for the radio, along with your Bluetooth and voice commands. And then those 3 dials are just underneath that. As we work our way to the left side of the steering wheel, you can see the trunk release along with traction control. This does have blind spot that you can turn on and off, and we have a dimmer switch for the gauges. You'll see a carbon fiber-like material just above that, along with 1 air vent. As we work our way to the middle, you'll see an LCD screen up in the dash that's covered with leather and more red stitching. And you can see some vital information where you can see your MPG, you have your fuel gauge along with the outside temperature, your climate controls when those are on and running, and the outside temperature. And then as we work our way below that, you'll see 2 air vents along with the hazard button. And then if you use this dial just underneath that, you can scroll through some more information. You can look at where the power is being sent along with a G-force meter and acceleration, so you can monitor that information. If you press and hold this, you can go into the settings for this screen. So you can go into the date and the time, the display, your screen settings. You have maintenance and driving history along with car settings. So it's very nice to have this screen right here. You can also look at the clock as well as the date and the time. So it's very usable to have all that vital information separated from the gauge cluster. Plus it gives it a really cool look at the same time. Now we'll go ahead and move on to the 7-inch screen, where you can see there's a lot to go through. We are on the home screen right now, where you can pull up your phone, your map. You have different apps, the Subaru Starlink. There's also some blank pages too, so if you'd like to add some apps, you have a place to do that. We can pull up this map now so you can see that in full screen. There's also a shortcut to the map along with the apps. And you have radio and tuning on the right side, along with power and volume. There's a slot for a CD player, and then tuning is on the far right. Just underneath that, we have all the climate controls. So you have the fan speed right in the center, along with the temperature. Where you'd like the air to go is over on the right side. So everything is laid out well and very easy to use. And as I mentioned earlier, you can see all of that in the upper screen if you'd like to monitor it. So it's really nice to have the physical button layout. You'll also notice there's a large compartment down below, along with a 12-volt in the back. And now we can move on to this 6-speed manual. You'll see the shift boot is finished off in leather along with more red stitching. If I pull this up and go all the way over and down to the right, that will pull up the backup camera where you can see all the guidelines as well. So a lot of visibility for what's behind you. And obviously we have all the other 6 gears, which we'll go through in the test drive portion of today's video. You'll also notice we have the manual parking brake along with 2 cup holders and a little bit of storage. We also have the heated seat controls. And then looking at the center armrest, if I pull on this button here, you can raise that up if you want a little bit more comfort. And then we can open this up where you'll see there's a good amount of storage along with a 12-volt if you need to use that. You'll also notice we have more of that carbon fiber-like material just above the glove box, where you'll see there's plenty of room for all of your information that has to go there. We'll take one last look at these leather seats. And as I mentioned earlier, this does have a sunroof, so we can go ahead and open up the sunshade. And then you'll see we have the dome lights right in the middle. Jumping into the back seats now for the WRX, I'm gonna start off with the amount of room that I have. So I'm 5'10", you can see I have the front seat set at my height, plenty of room for my legs and my feet, and I have around 2 or 3 inches above my head. These are really comfortable seats too. They're finished off in leather. We have some side bolstering support where you can see more red stitching just to tie it in nicely with the front seats, of course. We have some storage pockets behind both front seats, and then right in the middle there is an armrest with 2 cup holders if you need to use that. And both of these seats fold down as well. So if you need to make this a little bit more versatile, you have the option to do that for more storage space. And last up, it's time to take a look at the trunk storage space. So I'm just gonna use the button up underneath and we can open this up, where you'll see there's a good amount of storage space with the back seats up. So we have a nice flat surface to put in larger items. And then when you fold both of those seats down, you have a lot more room for anything you'd like to place in the back. You can also see it goes out to the left side and the right side, so you can put in larger items like golf clubs sideways if you need to, just making this a very practical sedan. And then the trunk is very lightweight, making it very easy to close. All right, so getting the 2021 Subaru WRX out on the road now. This is such a fun sedan to drive. If you're new to the channel, I actually just drove a WRX STI, finished off in the same blue, very similar to this model here. So if you'd like to check out that video, that will be down in the description below. So this is my first time checking out the WRX, and this is a really nice sedan. I love the features that this model has with the sunroof. We have the blind spot, a few other technology features. We have a lot of creature comforts for daily driving this. So it's really nice to see all of that. I love the layout. It's awesome to go through, and I love seeing all of these gauges too. It makes it more sporty feeling to be able to monitor all of that information. But now we're gonna go ahead and give it a little bit of gas with this 2-liter turbocharged engine. Not doing anything crazy today. It's nice too that you can see what gear you're in. That's right in the middle of the LCD screen there. And we're up to the speed limit just like that. This is a fun sedan to drive, and I love the fact that we still have a manual transmission available. So kudos to Subaru for keeping that alive. If you're looking for a manual sedan, you have a family, you need this extra space, this is a great option. And this could be a great first vehicle to learn how to drive a manual if you've never been in one before. The clutch pedal is the only thing that's a little finicky. The bite point is very quick, so the amount of play that's in that clutch is very short, so you just have to get used to that. And this 6-speed here, very easy to go through all of these shifts here. We can rev match these downshifts, give it a little bit of gas. As we come around this right-hand turn, it is so planted. This is all the twisties that I'll have for today's video, but it handles well, plenty of power to get out of those turns. So this would be a fun daily driver. Now you can pretty much drive everywhere. We have the all-wheel drive system as well, so you can drive this in some inclement weather. And then as far as visibility goes, looking over my left shoulder there, you have a lot of glass. Visibility is really easy to see all around, which is a plus for a vehicle like this. And aside from that, this has been a very comfortable sedan to drive. We do have the Sport Tune suspension, but it's absorbing all of the bumps that have been coming at it in today's video. So I like how it's riding. It's going to give you that little bit stiffer of a ride for better handling, so you can take this around corners, but at the same time, you're not really sacrificing your daily driving commute with the suspension. So you pretty much have the best of both worlds, and the fact that you have all of this room. Coming around another right-hand turn here, from second gear here, it doesn't feel as quick as the STI, of course, because it is a smaller engine, but you still have a pretty quick sedan, so I love that feature. Talking about the interior materials here, everything is very nice. I love this carbon fiber-like trim that you've seen. Steering wheel has really nice notches on both sides, so it's going to give you all the grip that you need. Seats are very comfortable as well, and we just have a ton of room where you can put anything you'd like in here. So you have an all-wheel drive family sedan, you can drive anywhere, you can put anything in here that you want, and you have a really fun driving car. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for my walk around review and test drive getting behind the wheel of this 2021 Subaru WRX Limited. Once again, huge shout out to Randy Marion Subaru for providing this sedan for me today. Make sure you check out their website. That will be down in the description below. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button if you'd like to stay up to date on our daily uploads. And I'll see you in the next video.